Olsen in the top right. He is teamless, but of course he represents himself in a clan, which name we shouldn't say because you get banned in Twitch chat. It is the Blue Protoss player from South Korea, the big boy, PartinG.
Choo-choo. And his opponent in the bottom left-hand side here, going with the gas cancel. Interesting. Been a while since I've seen one of them. From Alpha X, he is RagnaroK. Now, Grant, it's important that both of these players win this series, and that's because right now this group of six, this round robin group of six, is literally as close as it possibly could be. RagnaroK has got to defend this cannon rush really well because the standings are so close.
Oh, I love PartinG so much with all of my heart. I have Grim Reaper mods and probably Grimmy himself watching this. Yes, we are going to have a cannon rush. This has not been seen created. Now it has, but it's very, very late. The scout here, actually, by our Zerg player, he didn't see it before, and now that's going to make it very difficult. The cannon already walled off. Incredible placement here. Is most likely going to force a cancel on this hatchery, and it's going to be up to our Zerg player to react accordingly now, because this is already a great start. And the gas steal! PartinG, I love you.
Yeah, PartinG doing everything right here. Of course, this is a really nice placement on Pillars of Gold. This map offers this unique little niche in between the natural here, where we will see the the forward gateway walling off that photon cannon as if there's any pressure. And yeah, of course, RagnaroK's going to be forced to cancel that natural and move over to his third base. But Grant,
PartinG's committing.
Wait a minute.
That's interesting.
Wait a minute, Grant. Where's this little fella going?
I honestly don't know the answer to that question, Creighton.
He's going up to the face. He's going up to the face base in the top left-hand side, Grant. I think we're going to see a double expand from RagnaroK.
This is not that good, though, because PartinG is committing in the natural. PartinG still has a probe down there, right? He could throw down a proxy robo as soon as this his Cybercore is done, and that's going to be so difficult here for our Zerg player to deal with. PartinG has the power of recalls, the power of cannons and shield batteries. Defending will be easier for him. PartinG is also scouting a lot of positions here. He now sees neither of these bases are taken, but he's also seeing the main and seeing there's not that many lings, there's no Roach Warren, so he's going to be, there's question marks above PartinG's head right now. Spine Crawler goes down, that's completely fine here. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a proxy robo coming down from PartinG in not too long.
Really interesting from RagnaroK here, hiding both of his other bases, because normally what the response is of course Roach Warren into Ravagers to break open this contained, right? And normally you see Roaches and Ravagers used to do this. So obviously PartinG is probably thinking right now, okay, the Roach Warren is down here in the south side of the base. I just haven't seen it yet. He isn't expanding. He's on one base right now. So all I have to do is contain. RagnaroK is faking this very well. I think he's a little nervous also, but he's getting these 3 spine crawlers, plenty of slow lings, ling speed halfway done, moving the spine crawlers forward, even be more aggressive. Nice catch on the Zealot on the ramp there. But with these 3 bases, RagnaroK will be able to macro his way out of this, even if PartinG puts on a lot of pressure, which right now, the pressure from PartinG, pretty mild, Grant.
Yeah, no proxy robo here. PartinG hasn't really done anything at home. I think he is getting an extra cannon at home, possibly. It's hard for me to tell right now. Yeah, he's sitting very far back. He's getting a second gateway at home. It looks like PartinG is going to get a Twilight Council. He's going to hide it, though. And he's going to go most likely into a Dark Shrine here, I imagine, which I think could be super fun. It could be something else. It's very hard to tell with PartinG. I hate making predictions against a player this crazy. But PartinG's doing a good job. I like what he's doing. I like the idea that to hide that Twilight Council from the Overlord. The Overlord is going to swing up to the north side here and may get a good scout, actually, if it does dive into that main base of PartinG, which is by far the most logical move here. But when you're playing against PartinG, logic kind of goes out the window.
It's funny, Grant, you and I have seen tens of thousands of StarCraft matches, and it's always interesting when something like this happens where you're like, man, this is something we see, once in a blue moon. It's like a whole new game, which is one of the reasons that we all love the StarCraft community so much. There's Blink starting up from PartinG, who wants to get some Blink shenanigans going on, which is a little bit unorthodox, but that will be spotted. And of course, with the additional gases taken here with the additional gas that's still being mined from RagnaroK, he's going to spin that into a Nidus network. That Nidus worm, by the way, is hidden behind his main base. And that'll allow, not only if he wants to get some aggression onto PartinG's side, but Grant, if he just wants to lose this base, get his drones out of there and transfer them up to the third base or something, he's more than welcome. Because look, he's now mining for these other 2 bases. This is a 3-base Zerg against a 1-base Protoss player, and PartinG has no earthly idea, Grant. He's not scouting anymore. There's the Nidus in his main.
Yeah, Nidus in the main for PartinG, probably going to force a recall. Is there even anything in the Nidus, Creighton? No.
Not right now. There we go. Some links getting loaded up now.
Yeah, this could have, there was a possibility that this was even just a fake. PartinG going to be able to pick off a little bit here, but he doesn't have too much. That being said, he does have a good amount of cannons at home. He has a shield battery in range to hit an overcharge on both. It's going to be difficult to break this position. PartinG, okay, he now knows that there's a second Nidus, right? And what that means is he's going to be thinking, well, where is it? And it may give him some indication that this is a very wonky game. PartinG is probably going to win in the main very, very shortly. He's just waiting for probably the last warp in, and then he will go. As I say, probably 11 times. No one really knows. There's no certainty in this matchup.
This just seems like a bit of feigned pressure from RagnaroK trying to trick PartinG into a recall or something. PartinG not going to take the bait, though. If I was PartinG, my guess is that the Nidus Worm is in my natural, right? That's the normal place that you would send it. Get some Roaches, some Ravagers, put them out of the front and start raining Corrosive Biles down on the front. It's important to note that Roach Warren not finished from RagnaroK, though, Grant. And now PartinG in the main sees the Nidus Worm and can cancel the Nidus Worm. But now that he sees the drones evacuate, he must know, wait a minute, you're evacuating drones through the Nidus. They're not coming into my main base. You wouldn't want to lose them in the middle of that worm. Where the hell is everything this game? And there it is.
Yeah, so Roach Warren is done, and we're going to see 4 Roaches instantly on the way. Spawning pool has to be rebuilt to provide those lings to be the buffer. We see an inject going in on this space, a little ambitious here from RagnaroK, who is going to lose his main, which is also his lair. So RagnaroK's tech has been nuked back to the Stone Age, as if he was playing against Gandhian civilization.
Yes.
But he's still got the element of surprise, most definitely, against his opponent. PartinG still doesn't really know what's going on in this game. He's now cleared out the main, and RagnaroK is just expanding towards his opponent. He has taken RagnaroK's third base, or possible third base. PartinG finally sees this base, and that will annoy him. He sees the Roaches as well. PartinG actually does have a very good amount of Stalkers here with Blink, and we've seen PartinG's Blink Micro in dire situations carry him to victories. So I really don't hate this for PartinG. He's killing a lot of Overlords too.
Yeah, this is fun for RagnaroK, but now that PartinG has broken the main, it suddenly becomes a game of whack-a-mole, and RagnaroK hugely supply blocked now. That's going to really suck for him because he only has 8 Roaches on the map now, Grant. And PartinG is going to go on a tear. He's just going to cycle around the map, finding base after base and destroying base after base as well. He's not even going to bother losing that base. He's just going to go find where RagnaroK is and try and take him out. RagnaroK knows he can't win this whack-a-mole game. GG, and PartinG grabs game number 1, Grant. The cannon rush didn't do it, but the follow-up certainly did.
Yeah, I really like what he did there. I anticipated we were going to see a bit of a 2018 build with the Proxy Robo 2019 build, but that wasn't the case. He instead opted to just get some gateways. He kept himself safe at home. He didn't overly commit to controlling the natural. He took the main at exactly the right time, and a great map one there for PartinG, who is doing very well and certainly starting to look like he may make it out of this group. After beating Rogue as well, he could be vying for that top spot. It's a possibility.
I love Twitch chats so much, Grant. Can you see right above and below themselves? PartinG will lose. PartinG won. PartinG is losing. PartinG dead.
Yeah, I know. It's great, isn't it?
It's so fun, and it brings me to a point that I think is really important for people to hear every now and again. Just a reminder, you know, every engagement in StarCraft. So if you're watching StarCraft, you're a fan of competition, and people who are fans of competition almost always want to say, I'm winning, or I'm losing, or I'm ahead, or I'm behind. This was good for player X. This was bad for player Y. You want everything in black and white. And if there's anything we've learned from years and years of StarCraft and StarCraft Brood War, we should know that every engagement is a shade of gray, Grant. Yes, there are some that are very obviously a big win for X player. Yes, there are some situations that are very obviously a big win for Y player. But 99% of the time, Grant, it's a sliding scale of what's good and what's bad. So as we move into Romanticide LE, I expect we'll see some more PartinG shenanigans, and I'll encourage everybody who's watching to just sort of deeply consider the thousands of variables that are occurring with this live action chess match we're watching, and take some time before calling the game as a win for somebody else. I think it increases your enjoyment of the game if you think, wait, this looks good for PartinG. How could RagnaroK win this one? Or this looks bad for RagnaroK. What could he do to pull out of it? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting. PartinG is spamming in caps as usual. I love being in lobbies with PartinG. It's just always funny. We are loading into Romanticide. I'd like to be like, I think X is going to do Y. I have no idea what these players are going to do. Because RagnaroK, I mean, we say he wants to defend, but then he does these crazy mass expansion hidden bases. It's going to be ridiculous no matter what happens, and I cannot wait. I'm all in for this game.
Yeah, I made the mistake of being like, oh, game 3, I expect we'll see Rogue do what he's most comfortable with. I'm not making any calls anymore today, Grant. After a Rogue failed drone drill, I'm done calling games. PartinG up 1-0 as we load into Romanticide. Ellie.
And the player just mentioned by my handsome co-caster in the bottom right of Romanticide, he has no team representing himself and his very, very, very explicit clan. It is the Blue Protoss player from South Korea, the big boy. With his PP, it's PartinG.
And his opponent in the top left-hand side in the red, representing Team Alpha X and dropping that game number 1. Really needs the win here, Grant. His current match record, 1-2. He is RagnaroK.
Very important map and series here for RagnaroK. PartinG has been on a bit of a tear, beating the hardest opponent in the group so far, which, you know, coming into this, Rogue was certainly up there. Cure as well, I think, is an incredible player right now. He's also not having the best time. And we're seeing a gateway here from PartinG. I think on Romanticide, that's pretty much to be expected. It's very easy to get between your main and your third, and also from the high, where you would cannon rush on Romanticide, Queens can get up on the high ground and just push it back without too many problems, as well as Roaches or Ravagers. So Gateway, I think, oh, it's Gateforge. Okay, everything I just said is wrong. PartinG's batshit insane. This is going to be crazy.
He snuck a probe up into the main base. I think he was thinking maybe about a pylon up on the high ground here, but of course the Overlord from RagnaroK just barely saw that probe darting around. This is why these players are so damn good, Grant. The Overlord saw the probe from PartinG in a very weird sort of position here, up where the Reaper jump-up cliff is in Romanticide, and just that odd movement was enough for RagnaroK to say, wait a minute, something strange is happening here, and what it is ain't exactly clear. And so he brought the drone down to the south side to try and deal with this, but PartinG is cannon rushing yet again. This time, a bit of a different flavor, though, as he's got the pylon up on the high ground. This is the correct spot to cannon rush in Romanticide.
Yeah, definitely. If you can control the high ground here, it's going to be pretty good. He wants to stop drone transfers from going through and force RagnaroK to have to play a slightly slower game where he can't saturate his natural as quick as he'd like. We also see a proxy gateway here from PartinG, but there is a Roach Warren very, very quickly. Triple gases as well here for RagnaroK. Triple workers in gas even as he takes a second gas. So most likely we're going to see Ravagers to try and break this. It's going to be interesting. There's a good amount of workers made it to the natural, but PartinG is going to 100% control this ramp for the foreseeable future. We see a few lanes. PartinG trying to bait with his... Nice.
Ooh, nice.
With his worker, but this is like ridiculously aggressive for a cannon rush here from PartinG.
Yeah, he's leaving it all on the field here for sure, Grant. Of course, the Ravager follow-up is a much more traditional counter to the Roach push, especially here on Romanticide, where the main bases are so large. They've got so much just real estate in the main base. Those Ravagers give you a lot more control with the corrosive biles. So we'll see exactly what happens here. Nice block, though, by this Stalker. PartinG being very risky, taking a bit of extra pressure off of that Queen just to save that shield battery. The shield battery will finish up and not get canceled. Another big win for PartinG here, who's beginning to encroach in RagnaroK's space quite a bit. First Ravagers on the way might change things up.
Yeah, the Lings are still out on the map, and they're chasing around down at the natural right now. But if they commit, and this is a very early committal, I'm not so certain about here, for RagnaroK, he really does not want to take this fight. He loses those Lings, which would have given him the possibility of a very small flank here. One of those Ravagers is very, very low as well, and if that gets taken out, it becomes scary, very scary. It does go down to a cannon shot even. Bit of a mistake. We see a bile come down on the cannon. The cannon doesn't give a shit, as it does have the batteries behind it. And now there's 4 Stalkers, and that Spine Crawler getting low. PartinG is a cannon rusher. PartinG is a piece of shit, and PartinG wins the series 2-0.